Another week, another trading cycles video. We are now in week 50 of the year 2023. Before we continue here, as always, like if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Also, check out their website. Link is going to be in the description, and it's going to be loads of cool stuff appearing on there soon. So just a teaser. Also, keep in mind, we do not provide financial advice here. All the content that we share is intended for educational purposes only. Always straight to price and not to prediction. My name, like I said before, is Eric if you're new here, and I'm here with Urmas. Hello, Urmas. How are you doing?
Hi, Eric, and everyone else. I hope everyone is fine this time of the year and enjoying the coming holiday times as well. Yeah, all good, all good. Markets are doing extremely well, and they are keeping up. And today, as we record this a bit later, as usual, than usual, should I say? The markets are already open, and they are still heading to new highs, at least recent highs. Yeah. So yeah, it's all positive. We do have, though, one turning point coming up tomorrow on Tuesday, and that's gonna be it for this week. So so we'll see if it's gonna be a major turning point or it's gonna affect markets just slightly. We shall see then during the week. Yeah, but let's go a bit back and have a look what happened last week first. So we did see quite a bit of volatility, ups and downs there. Now Monday was a bit low day, and well, it did pick up a bit on Tuesday, where we did see basically Dow and S&P were slightly lower, but Nasdaq higher again, and Russell and S&P 400, which are then smaller companies, declined as well. So yeah, it is like very volatile market. There is no good direction so far. So it is anticipating probably, or was it anticipating those job numbers that came out on Friday. And wait, they did come out quite positive. So, and that was reflected on the market as well. So unemployment rate fell. It was expected to stay on 3.9, but it actually came out 3.7. So that's quite good sign, obviously. So the economy is still strong, despite all these interest hikes and whatever is going on there. Yeah. So obviously that was positive. And now we will have some more news coming up this coming week, but we will get to that in a moment. Now, seasonally, we did expect the markets to rise. So that's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't quite accurate, but yes, it ended up being a positive week. Yeah? And same for Qs. Okay, and now actual price movement is here, so that's what happened. So Wednesday was a bit lower, and Friday did then exceed expectations. Yeah, so it did go quite a bit higher. And our statistical model also indicated quite similar action. Obviously, it wasn't that accurate this time, but still. On the other hand, we are on this seasonally negative period, and it's not obviously 100%. So this time of the year it is about 75%, I believe. So 9 out of 12 has been falling, and 3 out of 12 has been rising markets years. I mean, then yeah, okay. So basically, yeah, it is a mixture. Obviously, the bias is a bit to the downside, but yeah, at the moment it's not showing at all. Maybe we'll see it this week. So at least that's what we are expecting. So there will be a volatility quite a bit. Now 50-day moving average is still in that red zone, so it's quite overbought, the market. I mean, yeah. And 200-day moving average is heading to that direction. So there's still some way to go, but it's quite positive. Yeah? And new high, new low index has been steadily now declining because obviously the new highs there can't be made unlimited amount of them. So yeah, we are reaching to the top mostly, but the prices, as prices are still rising, we do have that divergence here. Yeah, so that points to the downside and prices point to the upside still. Yeah, so we shall see some sort of turning point at some point, yeah, in time. And then we will see this red line start heading up as we will see more new lows coming in. Okay. Now, technically, market has reached that target now, basically. So we did break quite many resistance lines along the way, and that's the final straw. Now, if we're still gonna head higher from here, then it's quite a bit higher to go. Obviously, we will start reaching 2022 beginning top there. Yeah, I believe that's the next target on the way then. Yeah. Now, sector-wise, it's been a mixture. So some of them were rising. So communication was the strongest, and energy was the weakest. And monthly overview indicates that real estate has been the strongest, and energy the weakest again. Yeah, so energy sector has been quite weak lately. Anyway, fear and greed stays on greed zone, 68. I believe last week it was 67. So nothing major has changed. Now, seasonally, I did change this model as well, so that's basically a bit more accurate. So we are heading to the to that downside movement zone, yeah, or we are in that actually already. So that should be over by the end of this week, yeah. So if we do see some sort of decline, that might be quite short-lived at this time of the year, yeah. Okay. And weekly seasonals, yeah, are pointing to the downside as well. So we haven't seen that sort of curve for quite a while, but yeah, that's what we see coming up now. So both for Qs as well, yeah. And statistical model is also pointing that today should be quite positive day, and next 4 days of the week are pointing to the downside, very red days, yeah. So we'll see. Obviously, I did mention that we have turning point tomorrow, so yeah, that might be the way it plays out. So obviously, we just need to wait and see. Tomorrow we will have, I believe, United Kingdom not United Kingdom, sorry, the Bank of England. Yeah, we will see their interest rate decision, and on Wednesday we will see Fed's rates decision. And I believe on Thursday it should be ECB who announces their rate decision. So there's quite packed week for these decisions. Yeah, all right. So that's why we do expect quite a lot of volatility. And on Wednesday we have Mercury turning retrograde. So that's going to be an interesting 3 weeks now. Obviously, Christmas time will be in that zone as well, so we wouldn't recommend to buy any expensive gifts this year, or at least not technology, because that might break or not gonna meet expectations or so on. So at least if you buy something for Christmas, then keep the receipt so that you can return it. All right. But yeah, and tomorrow we will have new moon as well. So there are some indications. Today is quite positive day by the aspects as well. So, but by the end of week we will have some confusion and misunderstandings. So yeah, it's not the easiest weeks ahead. Yeah. Okay. Now our black box model, which has been quite accurate, not obviously day by day, but overall picture. And at the moment, it's still pointing to the upside. Yeah. So we might see markets still going higher. And there are some other indications as well. So the correction might be quite short-lived, as I said. And as we did look into the aspects last week more thoroughly, so we did see that some of the aspects are pointing to the downside by the end of this week. Yeah, and yeah, they are all about the same. So, and by the end of the year, there is another aspect between Venus and Neptune, and that's quite positive. So that points to the upside again after Christmas time. Yeah. So yeah, that's the outlook at the moment. Now Mercury retrograde period usually implies some volatility to the markets, and we might see some lower ends there as well in price movement. But as I said, it might not be very long-lived correction. Okay. Now current week, as I said already, yes, we have FOMC meeting, and on Wednesday we have that rate decision, and on Wednesday after that we will see Fed's Chair Powell giving a speech as well. So we might hear quite a bit more now on the outlook. Okay. Then we got some inflation data coming up this week as well on Tuesday and Wednesday, and there are some earning reports still coming out. Oracle was today, then Adobe will be on Wednesday, and Costco as well. And there are some other companies as well. You can see them on the screen here. Now AI will be in focus. So Intel will launch their AI Everywhere event or product line, or how should we call it? And we shall see what it is, but we expect their new processors to come out, and they should be integrated quite heavily with AI capabilities as well. Similar technology came out by AMD already, and they did held similar event, and they're emphasizing AI importance as well in their chip technology. Okay, now that's about it, I think. So yeah, market focus will be on rate decision this week. So that's the important part. Now a couple of stocks we have keeping an eye on as well. So if we go through them, and then we'll have a peek on other markets as well. So what did we have here? We had EGHT, yeah. So that has now triggered its entry last week at 339, I believe it was, yeah. And that's heading to the upside nicely. Then we had what was it? OSCR, yeah, OSCR. So that's a diversion play, I believe, yeah. So that's heading to the downside. And what else we had here? We had Vertex. Vertex is a flag pattern. So as we haven't seen any impulse movement to the downside, we still expect that to happen, yeah? Okay. And ACIW is also a divergence play, and it is against quite heavy resistance here. So we might see that one correcting as well, okay? And a couple of new ones as well. So GOSS, so that is a momentum stocks. It's moving quite heavily higher, and has seen quite heavy drop lately, but now it's turned, and we expect it to go even higher. There are some resistances on the way, so that's something to be aware of. But yeah, it is quite well at the moment. Now HLMN is about the same story. So quite heavy drop, and now it's turned, and the next resistance is quite far away still. Yeah. So that's okay as well. GLPG, also quite good momentum play. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. And YUM, YUM brands, yeah, that one we do expect to turn to the downside. Although we did see some signals already end of last week, but today it's been quite strong. So it's been on hold for today at least. So we'll see. Seasonally, it's showing quite a bit of weakness quite soon. Yeah. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, what else we have here? We have gold stock obviously correcting now, and it has given us a negative signal today. There is support coming up on just around 1948, yeah, price level. So that's something to keep an eye, but it might go even lower. So the next turning point for gold is coming up on Friday now. Okay. And Bitcoin has turned to the downside as well. So it is now correcting. and the resistance coming up here at 37,600, somewhere there. So that's something to watch as well closely. But the momentum is still to the upside, and obviously we haven't seen any signals yet that would point to the downside. So we shall keep an eye on it. It is now in that value zone, so to say. Yeah. So it might be just a correction at this point of time. Yeah. So nothing else we can say so far. What else we got here? VIX is still in that very low zone. Yeah. Nothing major going on here. So that's all good. Yeah, that's about it, I think. So we did see a signal coming up on S&P this week, last week, sorry, as well. Yeah. And it came up on Wednesday to the downside. But as we do see quite heavy price moving to the upside now, so yeah, it is a bit questionable at the moment, but we do expect some volatility coming up as well. So yeah, we will have to wait and see how it's going to play out this week. Quite important and interesting one. All right.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much, Romas, as always. And thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoy the content that we share, please click the like button if you haven't already. Also get subscribed and click the bell notification icon that appears next to the subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section down below. And check out our website. We're going to have some more content on there shortly. So definitely bookmark it and check back later on. But that's it from me. And we shall see you next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
See you next week. All the best.